talk about Chucky and Shaq. I'm gonna zoom this up a little bit more, right? Boom. So tonight we have two topics: biblical laws on marriage and the Lord's name. I think this is so I think there's gonna be a good breakdown for you all. That might come up in a battle, might come up on the street. It might come up, it might not come up. All right. And also we're gonna cover whatever questions in the class tonight, all right? Yeah. All right, so any questions so far? Anybody in class?
No, sir.
You're good?
No,
all right, no sir. Bro, how the lights are? The lights is too hard?
Lights too hard.
You sure? You look up there like the lights is not too hard.
My brightness was down on my phone. It was me. It's a lucky guy, but I got black.
All right. If you say so, I'll rock with you. Okay, first off, somebody asked you, marriage according to the Bible, what is it? Come on.
Sex.
All right, how you proving it?
If you entice a woman and lay with her, the scripture, one second.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
All right, so that's one. Break it down. Yeah.
No, if a man entice woman, entice meaning you spit your game, some kind of seduction, not drugs or rape.
Not Spanish fly like Bill Cosby.
Not Bill Cosby, but you actually spitting that good rhythm like King Solomon did. Like all brothers got that game, and she likes you spitting.
Mm-hmm. Now
she like you. She on you.
If she picking up what you laying down.
If she picking up what you laying down,
right?
And you lay her down. God.
Let the church say amen. All right. Right. I mean, go ahead, Shapat.
I got Genesis 24 and 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother's tent, mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Right? He took Rebekah. What does that mean? Since he brought that one up. Go ahead, break it down. He took her.
It's like it said he took her into his mother's tent.
And?
Oh yeah, it's like it
yeah, if you say he took her. After that, he took her, right?
Yeah.
So, you gotta break it down because that sounds like something else to somebody.
Right. And so in today's term, he put the wood on her.
Yeah. But it's okay, you have to break it down because.
Okay, he had sex with her.
Okay, but you break down, he took her. Alright then?
So if I may, he took hold of her, caressed her.
He did what Israelite brothers do.
Romance.
Meaning, you bring her into the tent and you Netflix and chill. You turn the lights down low, you set the mood, you get her ready, and you have sex with her. To some men who in the world who really are Christian, to take her means to take her, like drag her in the room and rip her clothes off because you're taking it. You understand? If I've ever heard people say, I took that, that's to some people, that's what that means. That's not what it means here. Because of Exodus 22 and 16. Read it again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. Verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
Entice is the key word. You entice her. That's part of taking her. You take her because you entice her. You spitting game to her. Listen, sometimes your game's so cold you don't got to say a word. You don't got to say a word. You just fly. You meet your lead just right. What's the other one? The The time tilted just right. The war crown that was brother way in here, it's sparkling in the right light. You get the point? You just might be tall like the polar bear, like Bokwash, and walk in the room and duck under the threshold and come up and she see you and she's like, ooh wee. You get the point? Or it might be like Arawat, you just get up there and talk about the stinking Ahamites and the stinking Arabs and the stinking, and she just like how you getting down, and then she start calling for you. You might walk past and you smell all the frankincense. It might be something else that you ain't really got to say nothing. It's just a done deal. This just a pay a game day. That's all. It's all, come to the game. Don't come to training. Just come to the game, right? But you entice her, you seduce the broad, and you able to have sex with her. The scripture say what?
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Right? He entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her. He seduces her, she has sex with him. He must now recognize this as his wife. Endow her to be the wife means what? Go ahead. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
And we can't skip past the part that says she also has to be not betrothed.
Not betrothed. So what? Break that down.
So not betrothed meaning she does not have a man. She's not engaged.
She's not engaged, meaning what?
She does not have a man.
Okay, her having a man means she has a husband.
Right.
So it's different.
Another man is not courting her.
Another brother is not already courting her or negotiating the courtship. You get the point? Or it was rumored he was courting. You get the point? She's not promised to anybody. She's not in, they ain't no, like today they have a lien on your car. You know what I mean? That's it. You clear that part. And how you will clear that part is, of course, you ask it. However, here, once you lay with her, that's your woman. Right? At the end of it, once you lay with her, that's your woman, you endow her. What does endow her mean? To be your wife.
You pay the dowry?
You gotta go now pay the dowry. You gotta go to the father and say, Salakia, son. Right? You come with, 50 head of cattle outside, wine, something. You gotta come already with the cash because you done stole his daughter. That's really what it is. You done stole his daughter from him. And he may not have ever picked you. But guess what? Now, you gotta work this shit out. So, but the bottom line is sex is marriage because Christians is going to tell you it's not. Christians is going to tell you it's a ring, it's a, the vows, all that type of shit. But this here, at its very basic, as its very foundation is, sex is marriage. All right, so Lucky, go ahead.
Another precept, Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
And they shall be one flesh. The only way to be one flesh is not a ring.
Right.
It's not a marriage license. It's rounds of applause. So that's what I can. Yeah, I mean that's the flesh becoming one. It's one. You're one, and you're so one. Sometimes you don't want to let go of it.
Right. All the way around.
Give it up to the comedian in the back. That's why he's right now. He keep my balance. I'm like sometimes you bro, be that bad. You don't want to let go. That's true. That's true. That's very true. You get the point. That's very true. So that's the two becoming one. Sex is marriage. Across the board, make sure you have it down because this is a straight to the point. Sex is marriage. And of course, the other one, Shapatpol, is good because this is Isaac taking her to his mother's tent to have sex with her. You get the point? The one Barakpol, two become one. That can only happen with sex. Go ahead and come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then that man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her. He may not put her away all his days.
Exactly. That's from Exodus where he said you must endow her. Now you gotta go to the father and negotiate that thing with him. You get the point? You have to go to him now and you have to pay whatever the hell he tell you to pay. Because now it's past the stage of negotiation. Now it's like it's reparations then. It's like you have to repair this thing because she's an adult at the end of the day. You didn't rape the girl, she opened her legs to you.
Right.
You remember she would be growing up in their culture, but at the same time, people like who the hell they like her. You can't stop nobody from liking nobody.
Right.
But her father would have chosen for her if, you know what I mean? If, just wait until the person will knock her. Okay, no sweat. Her father is gonna choose for her if he's presented with it. Her father might get in the way of it and say, this ain't happening. Or the father might be like, yeah, this is the one. But whatever it is, he would have, the girl belongs to him. It's up to him to release her to the brother. And the release is based on him paying something. His service, his gifts, who he is. You get the point? That's what the dowry would be based on. Go ahead.
And then we got to break down the lay hold, because other fake Israelites and Christians will say lay hold means rape.
So what? The lay hold here is the same as he took her into his mother's tent and then took her. That lay hold is the seducing. It's the, he getting her in there and warming it up. You know what I mean? You go out to drive your car, you ain't driving that shit straight off, the start. Right. You letting that temperature gauge go up the same way. Right? That's laying hold. That's, taking her. It's a process to get in there, to the marriage. It's a whole process behind it. It does not mean rape. It does not mean take by force. Because in Deuteronomy 22, there's a law against it. Right? 22 and 23, something like that. But before, just hold the rape one. Give me the same one there with the dowry with the father. Right? Yeah, the one you just read. Because I'm breaking that down because, of course, the Lord is, again, I always say, the longer you serve in the truth, you won't understand that the power we serve is a father first. And a father is extremely merciful. And our father just think about you if you have your own kids. You want your kids a certain way. You're not going to break them, but you will break them. You get the point? You're not going to destroy them, but you will go to a point to stop them from doing whatever. You will kill a whole nation for them. And at the same time, you will lay the law down over and over until they get it and increase the volume a little bit more and more and more. And you realize that's how the Lord is. And then you're going to know your own children. The Lord knows Israel. He knows how we are. He put in provision there in case this girl might be taken by this brother. Right. She see him, all of a sudden she want to go to the market on her own. Right? She want to go draw water on her own because he over there, with this big old horse he got, feeding the horse water. And she needs to go there and, bend over and pick up that bucket and put her, put one foot up on the top of the well so he can see the ankle coming up by the calf. She might need to go do that because she's playing her hand for him too. Remember, a woman, she's going hunting. These sisters don't think that they're sitting down there over there pious and all that. They in hunting mode. They studying. You get the point? You think you hunting her, nigga? You in the trap. You ain't hunting shit. you gonna wake up one day and be like, "How the hell did I get in here?" When Taylor gonna walk past and be like, "Oh shit, that's what." That's how. So now the Lord puts in a provision there for, of course, if the brother does not go to the father first. He doesn't go to the father first, but he had sex with the daughter. He must now go to the father after. And now the father, he is going to give him a price that the son must pay. All right. Right after that, what does it say?
Which, when it says he may not put her away.
He may not put her away because, of course, that's his woman. He can't now ignore he had sex with her. He has to take her. That's my woman. I had sex with her. But after that, is that the part with the father if he refused?
Nah, this one is just saying it goes to another law about a man taking his father's woman.
No swear. That's not what I want. Hold on, Shabbat. Go ahead.
Sluggy, if a man entices a
No,
maid.
Shabbat. Shabbat. That's
Oh, he said Sluggy.
Sloppy. I was having a conversation about sex as marriage with Israelite, and he used this scripture right here to say that the father can refuse, and it's not sex. Sex is marriage.
Yeah, the father can't refuse. I'm going into it now, and that's why I say let me break this down. All right, let me break this down because these are certain things I'm seeing coming up a little bit. And also haven't heard anybody teaching us in a while. It's good to sharpen on it. It's the father can refuse, but we'll see what this really is. All right, give me the one where they say the father refused. Go ahead, bro.
Sluggy. I got the scripture right here. It's
Right.
It's
And I'll give you. Hold on 1 second. And Shabbat, I'll give you why I'd respect no quote unquote Israelite outside the Israelite school of U.P.K. After this, we go through this. I'll give you why I'm absolutely no tolerance. I don't respect you. I have to be ordered to say shalom. It doesn't happen before. I absolutely don't respect you because you think you know what you're talking about and you don't, and you're effing up the work. You understand? It's like somebody mopping the floor and they go outside and dip the mop in mud and shit and piss and come and mop this up and say, yeah, I mopped the floor, I've got every corner, and then I have to come and pour bleach and smell the shit and mop everything up. And then clean my boots after from walking through everything. After this, you realize why, again, the Israelite school of U.P.K is the home of the truth and nobody else. Yeah, find the scripture for me, please.
Exodus 22:17.
Let me hear it.
If her father utterly refused to give her unto him.
Right, so now, Sir Salakia, and now of course she's standing behind him giggling, or she in her room. You knock on the door, she want to answer the door first because she knows what's going on. She might start a block now because the pleasure is over. Right. That usually happens with sex. Once the sex is over, now reality hits it. The pleasure is over. She trying to block. She know her father is going to trip off. She know the nigga who she done married, he ain't no punk either. How in the hell is this going to happen? He come out, Sir Salakia, who are you? Wait, what you here for? And then she come out. And he look at her, he look at you, and he realizes what's going on. He ain't stupid. Chances are he did the same shit. So he tried for that not to happen to his daughter. He realized what's going on, and he said, nah, y'all two? You ain't marrying my daughter. He utterly refuses. This shit ain't happening. Read. Yeah, everybody looking at me like, yeah.
He shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Right? If he utterly refused, he will pay money according to the dowry of virgins. What does that mean? Okay, man.
So the father will pay him? Pay him because he's saying, nah, you can't have her as a wife.
Because now, the sex is the marriage. Right. The girl belongs to who?
To the man that they were.
To the brother.
Right.
If he refuses, as is the right of the father, he now has to pay the value of the daughter to the brother. Right? And then take this woman who done had sex back to his house. And then what? Try to get how much money for her? You'd be lucky if you get an oxtail for that girl. Right. Because there's no bloody sheets to get anymore. Right. The brother done took it. Right. You get it? Yeah, please pull that precept for me. Come on, Arawad.
So, if I may. So he basically paying the brother just to leave.
He playing the brother damages out. Right. Because the brother done took the girl. He want the girl. Right. He obeying the law and coming to you and saying, yes, I had sex with her. I understand I should have come to you first and I should have given you, the choice. But sir, I'm good man. He might lay the case down cold. Father just give me how much acres. In today's society, what you would say? I have a good job. Right. Just move into this spot. you know, blah, 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 I'm going to take care of him, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. You're going to lay it out cold. But the father, he just might, you know, the whole thing might sicken him. If you have daughters, you'll understand it. He might not have a problem with you personally, but because this is how his daughter has to go, it might sicken him. And, you know, he might ask you to leave quickly before there's a funeral. There's a wedding and a funeral. You get the point? He might dismiss you. You might have to go back to him again. Let some time pass. It's a process. This is not, you know, going to the store and buying liquor. Right. This is a life. And, of course, this is another thing. You marrying a sister, you marrying a family. You marrying mommy, daddy, grandma, nephews, nieces. If she have kids already, you're marrying them kids. If she have a dog, you're marrying the goddamn dog. A goldfish. It's the same thing for sisters. So it's a process, and you don't want to just for Jones. You know what I mean? Get yourself, you know, now you married to the damn Kardashian, and she got a mother and another mother. You know what I mean? You take your time. You get the point? But of course, I'm breaking it down because, of course, there's laws here that, you know, you want to pull out, and you will show your understanding of the law way more than a fake Israelite, which is what you want to fish. You'll be able to know, oh yeah, he could refuse. Now, what does this mean? And he's not going to understand what it means, because really, he wants to be able to refuse, because what does he really want to do? Shabbat. What does he really want to do when he's saying sex is not marriage and the father could refuse? What does he really want to do?
Like commit adultery by leaving.
Exactly. All he want to do is have an orgasm. He could go to a whorehouse for that. He could go to the church for that shit. But the scriptures say that thou shalt not make whores of the daughter of Israel. You break it up, you bought it. Right. Now let's talk price. You get before I have to break you in half. You get the point? Really, somebody who says the father can't refuse and sex is not marriage, he wants to have sex without the father knowing and then walk away and feel not convicted because it's in the law. You understand? That's really what he wants. But in here, brothers, that's not how that shit goes. You get the point? Come on.
And there was two things I want to say, but I
no sweat, they collide. You had an accident in your head.
It just showed, like, you see, like, how even, like, the father got to pay for his own damn daughter to the brother if he refused. It shows you how men really guide the woman. Like, the father trained up the daughter, and he holding on to the daughter until he can give her to a man that he trusts. And then now that woman is his responsibility.
Well, that's it. That's how it should go. Now, let's finish break down that. Let's not jump around too much, all right? Everybody just hold the other precepts you're holding and then come with it. Now, the father refusing. The law is he can refuse, but now you must pay the dowry that you want him to pay. You got to pay that to her. So now, it's just think you have a car, right? Somebody took the car and they want to come and pay you after. Right. You's like, nah. Well, now you got to pay me for the car. Right. So you pay that brother for the car. So now you're out money, and then you're taking property that has lost value because now she done had sex with this brother. She's not, you know, that fresh new thing anymore. She had a man already. Right. Which means the next brother who's coming, he ain't going to be paying top dollar for her. So you're losing. What is that law meant to do? Come on, y'all be all the way with me now.
So can you say that one more time?
What is that law meant to do? What the laws is there for a reason.
Right.
All right. And of course, if you don't have a father and you're in the truth, command and join your hands, your father. He makes the decision. You get the point? If you don't have a father and you're in the truth, Commander General YAHANNA is your father. If you're in the world, I suggest you find the UPK quick if you want a father or a father figure. Right. But if you're in the world, you don't have a father, you come to the school. If you're a sister in the school and you're unmarried and your father is dead or in the world, Commander General YAHANNA is your father. You get the point? He makes that decision. He negotiates for you. I just want to bring that out too. Who had a hand up? Salafi, go ahead, sis.
Is that law meant for the father to raise the child up in the right way?
Well, that too, but okay. No matter how Mary was no hoe, Mary was raised right. But the Lord wanted something out of Mary. You understand? And he put the spirit on her to go after Joseph. Also, it's in the prophecy with Mary that the king will come from a fallen household, and the king would be born to a unmarried woman. That's in Jeremiah or Isaiah. Like what Mary did was fully fulfilling prophecy according to Christ. That the Christ's birth would be a shame to the house, because that's the house of David, right. Meaning the king. You get the point? It's like, imagine like Trump, right? Imagine you have President Trump, then his son will be president. Then a few generations down, just imagine there was no voting, they would all be presidents. All his sons as presidents. And then you have one son who's supposed to be president is picking up trash. That's his day. Or a janitor. That's his job. And the woman he gets is not from a noble family. You get the point? She's, she might be homeless. But the king or the next president that's the father and that's the mother. That was a prophecy because of the sin of Israel, that the Lord was going to shame us in that the king is going to come from a fallen house. So what Mary did was part of the prophecy, but Mary wasn't raised bad. Right. You understand how you know she wasn't raised bad?
Because they had the pregnancy.
They had a baby. Right. And she knew Joseph was her man. You get the point? So it's okay, yeah, raise the girl good, raise the brother good, but that's not it. Because at the end of the day, sex is sex. It's powerful. It's one of the most powerful things in the world. Solomon couldn't resist. Samson couldn't resist. Samson's mother said, is there no Israelite woman that you could get? You have to go and get these Africans? Samson was like, Sanga, Hunde, mama. Samson said, no, I want that thing. And he lost his eyes because of it. But this is something else. Who knows?
Salami, can you repeat that again? Like, what?
Okay, read the scripture one more time, fully.
The book of Exodus chapter 22, verse 17. If her father utterly refused to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And what is that law for, right?
Right. Go ahead.
I'll take a crack at it. Just from the father, from the brother, and from the sister, and just the whole nation of Israel, it like pushes you to follow that protocol. The father didn't want to pay that money, but he didn't want to lose his daughter. The brother wanted to give it to sister, but at the same time, he didn't want to get paid off to get it. He wanted to be with the city. He didn't want the money. It just kind of pushes everybody.
It pushes it to follow the protocol, but not this one. Because what pushes it to follow the protocol is you lay with her, you entice her, you lay with her. No, you have to go talk to the father. That pushes you to follow the protocol, because you can't have this wife in secret. She a woman now. She want to walk down the street with you. She want to ride a horse. Right. So you got to go talk to the father. This one's a little bit different.
So like, okay, if I could rephrase what I meant, like just explaining the example that you gave,
mm-hmm.
like that law, like in the spirit, is like to get us to not be in that type of situation.
Okay, but no, because it's going to happen. It happened with Joseph and Mary. Like, okay, shit like that is going to happen. It would be better if it don't happen. And it's not to say that if it do happen, it goes wrong. Sometimes the father might be like, man, listen, I like you for her anyway, but I just wanted this shit to be done right. But ain't no sweat. Y'all come in here. Listen, if you have problems, you're welcome to sleep. It might go like that. The father might like you. He might already know. And then you show up and he let you tremble for a while and then pull out the sword or the gun. And yeah, that's all they want to tell me now? Say, listen, man, it's all good. I knew you was fucking. Come on, sit up here, boy. I just wanted to know if you'd have come talk to me. I see you're an honorable man. It might go like that. Okay, Israel is not like the heathen where we're robotic. You get the point? The heathens, even till this day, they're just, they're robotic because they don't have a father. They have a stone they worship or a piece of wood.
Right.
Or the sun. They don't have a father. A father is different. A father, your son could or your daughter could do something that you would break them in two for, and you wouldn't do it because that's your child. You get the point? So it's different, and that's the provision here. The Lord put that in because He knows His children. He knows there's some tail walking around here that's ridiculous, and He knows there's brothers walking around here that will just make a woman drown in her own whatever. And the shit might happen. Nobody needs to get stoned because two people like each other. Nobody needs to, it doesn't have to go that way. Just because two people like each other, we can work this shit out. It's there for that. But there's something else that's there that this law is here for. Come on, Bukwad.
Sorry, is it to keep the women of Israel from being whores?
Making him go to the father is for that. Because if you don't make him go to the father, then he could just walk away and be like, well, we're not married, which means now she goes have sex with somebody else. And if he do it, then she has sex with somebody. That happens in our neighborhoods growing up.
Right.
To the point where you're looking for a wife now and you got to find who your homies did not sleep with before you bring her home because shit, you get the point? Come on.
You brought up one of my guesses. One of my guesses was, so now when a father thinks about refusing, he can just be like, you know what, instead of refusing.
That's a father right there. Well, give him a hand. That's a father right there. Give him a hand. That's it.
The spirit behind it. Like
the what behind it?
The spirit.
The spirit behind it.
It's like the spirit is kind of like a brother. It's like, the father used to make like, nah, y'all ain't getting married. But then the real spirit is like, you know what? You went through all this trouble. Y'all went and had sex. You went through all this trouble to chase my daughter or whatever y'all did. Y'all like each other that bad. Go ahead. Just you can have her. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's the spirit of the law.
God.
You know what I mean? It's the spirit of the law where it's like the law is there for order, for protection, majority. Then there's the letter of the law, then there's the spirit of the law. What does the law say about homosexuality? Shapar.
It's an abomination.
That's how the Lord feels about it. What does the law say about homosexuality?
Man shall not lay with mankind. As he will with woman.
And that's it?
Or he shall be put to death.
The law says a homosexual shall be put to death. What's the spirit of the law? See that there? You do that to a fake Israelite, whoever listening, they'll follow you to class. Because they'll look at him. What's the spirit of the law, Aki? Everybody gonna put on their phones and watch him be silent. Because you done took him out into the deep and that nigga can't swim, man. He only has Israelite on land, but he can't go do that shit in the deep, in the thick of it. He can't go and sit in the jungle, it's too deep for it, right? The spirit of the Lord is what you want. And to understand it, you have to understand that the Lord is a father first, dog. He's a father. Your father might say, if to explain heathen religions and people who don't understand the law in a nutshell, your parents or your father might say, don't let the street light come on the outside. Right. Old school people would say, don't let the light hit your head. You understand? Don't let that light come on your back. Meaning, don't let the street lights come on and you outside. You got to be inside before the street lights come on. What's the letter of the law? Of that law?
Right. The law is don't let the light come on.
Don't let the light come on. So now, a heathen or somebody who's religious might say, after time, after a few hundred years in that religion, they'll start saying the light is poisonous. That's why they say don't let the light hit you. You get the point? What's the spirit of that law? Shabbat. Don't let the street light meet you outside. What's the spirit of that law or that rule?
Come in the house, you'll be safe.
So you'll be safe. Because that's what a parent wants. A parent don't want you out there when it's dark outside, because street lights is not everywhere. Street lights is a few, every 50 feet? What happens when there's no lights in that dark area? They don't want their young son or daughter out there. Right. That's the spirit of the law. That's what we understand. We understand what the law is trying to get you to do versus the punishment of the law, which is what religions do and fake Israelites do. This is why them Catholics go whip themselves when they think about, that non-big ass. They walking down in mass. Sister Theresa come on down there, everything jiggling. Right. And the priest say, okay, we done. Just go talk to the bishop. Go marry the bro and get some little, You get the point? Because they only understand the letter of the law. They don't understand the spirit of the law. The spirit is be safe. Don't come. You be inside before it gets too dark. Right. Not the lights gonna harm you, and that's where religion comes in. That's where religion and rituals come in. You get the point? The rituals they go through. Look at every religion. You look at some crazy ass rituals. That's where it comes from, because they on the letter of the law. You get the point? What Islam, they just stoned some girl the other day, bury her up to her head, bust her head wide and hell open. Why? Because she had sex with some man before the wedding. Their law states this must happen to that girl. And I'm like, well, goddamn. He went in there and do his little, Arabic bullshit, seduced the girl, and now she had to get killed. They don't have the spirit on them. And them fake Israelites who want to do what he said, what he said he want to do, he doesn't have the spirit of the Lord on him. He taught like anybody who has the spirit of the Lord. You get the point? You have laws for a reason, it's really for protection. Now, at the end of the day, these two people, they know. It's not like they don't know the risk. They know. They know the law. They know the protocol. They do whatever. This here is for the father to be angry. You have to give him the right to be angry. That's the worst thing you can tell somebody that has suffered an offense. Oh shit! I see you coming up. I see you coming in fresh braids and beads and shit. Oh shit, man! Looking like what's he going to name? Chuck Brown? Yeah, man. Put that hat on, you little star glasses, and you be like. DC right there, Mo. The worst thing you could do is give somebody who either suffered an offense or feels wrong, you take away their ability to be angry at what was done. You understand? Come on.
So you say like he's paying for the right to be mad, to be able to break the law.
He's not going to be paying at all. This law is there to say, if you really want to refuse this, brother, you're going to have to pay. But okay, it's kind of hard for us to understand now because we remove from it and we don't own businesses. You understand? A family is a business. You're raising produce down here, kids. Kids is a resource. You're raising something to be profitable in the future. It's a business. It's budgeting. It's, cutting costs. It's, what's best for the productivity of this unit. It's a business you're running. And this is a commodity that was taken from your store. And now you could be angry that it was taken, or you can conduct business. You get the point? Now this nigga could bring this book back all tattered and beaten up, and you could pay him for the book. But now the book been used. Now she heartbroken over the shit. You get the point? Now he frustrated. Everybody gonna know he done returned this girl. Who gonna marry her? She gonna be 15 in your goddamn house. No kids, nothing like that. Why would you want to do that? Because you angry? Give the brother, give the brother a pass. Work out the dowry with him. If anything, charge him a good dowry. Make him pay. Tell him come here. Let me see you. Let me talk to you. Let me get to know you. That's the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. If it's just the letter, that marriage never happens, and two brothers is at war with each other over some sex act. That's unprofitable. Get the point? Come on.
So it's supposed to break his spirit of being angry.
You give him the opportunity to be angry, and then he's going to remember the law.
But he also really wouldn't want to do that to his daughter.
Exactly.
The spirit of the father.
He would, as a father, you don't want to do that to her. If the deed is done. The deed is already, you can't take the sex back. It's like a bullet.
Right.
We're going to take the bullet out of the body and put it back in the gun, and then nobody ever gets shot. No, the shot's already fired. Now we have to carry on with business. You let two of them know, okay, listen, I didn't approve of this shit here, but y'all got it. y'all doing your thing. But this girl here, you're going to give me, 100 head of cattle. What? I don't want her back. You have her. No, he has to pay that shit out. He has to pay it. You understand? He has to pay it. And they go, and now that he has to pay it, what is he going to do with the daughter?
Treat her badly.
No, he ain't, because the daughter just go tell the father. He's going to keep her how?
He's going to keep good care of her.
Why?
Because, for one, he's invested so much in it.
Just make it plain now. She's worth a lot. She's worth a lot. So now, you're going to take care of her. It's like buying a, $100,000 car. You're going to take care of it, because why? What you see brothers shining the car every Sunday the car wash. Man, why you always shining that shit? What does he say? You know how much I paid for this?
Right.
Get the point? Come on.
So I was listening in, but I was going to also add to the spirit behind it. It would make us value our woman more.
Well, the dowry is to make you value the woman. That dowry is to make you value the woman more. This year is to value brotherhood. This year is I have to go to this brother and tell him I stole something. This year is this brother now has to be like, damn, you did steal it, but I'm not going to wreck this thing here. Y'all, whatever came over y'all did it in the bush, behind the well. And I don't want to hear no more about it. Just bring the grandkids, drop them off, go about your business. Give me 100 head of cattle, that's that. The spirit of this law is not to break the marriage. The spirit of this law is to make the father say, damn, I had to get this nigga who I already don't approve of. I had to give him money and then take something that I'm not going to get as much as. No, now every brother who come to court, I'm going to say, well, there's one thing though. There's no bloody sheets. Well, what happened? Well, she had a man before he died? No. How much you say you want? 100? I just remember we have a plague. I could only spare 8. You get the point? The father, why go through all of that? It's to make the father just, she wasn't raped. She liked this brother. He liked her. He obeyed the law and came to you. Give him the dowry. Let him marry. Just let him marry. You understand? Just think Joseph married. They came together before the wedding. The Lord said, Joseph, don't be afraid to take her as your wife. You get the point? Because, of course, to go through that and go tell everybody after is heavy, but the Lord put a provision there to maintain marriage. You get the point? The sex is already done. What the Lord don't want is now numerous transactions like this falling apart because the father, who done had a ton of sex before, so mad that this girl having sex now. You get the point? It's a different spirit he's putting on. But once again, if you're not in the UPK, you're not going to get that. If you're not in the UPK, you're going to read the scripture here, and your daughter going to come home, yeah, I had sex with him. No, you didn't. Pay me. And now you have this broad in there. And if you know sisters,
Right.
what is she gonna do?
Right. And like every movie in real life, every time a father stops a woman from saying who she likes, she hates the father and still goes see the boy anyway.
What? Okay, okay. Think about it like this: she gonna hate the father, but the boy gone. It's done. He can't go back with her. He already received money from the father. How is he gonna continue having sex with her?
Okay, well, yeah, then she's gonna forever be just act depressed.
She gonna have sex with more men. She's gonna do it. She's just you're not. It's not profitable.
Right.
Once again, the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law. You get the point? Give me 1 Corinthians 3. First, 2 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 3. Start at 4. Somebody start with.
Come.
Please.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And such trust have we through Christ to God with.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think any as of ourselves.
To think anything.
Anything, as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of God.
Mm-hmm. Not that we could do things ourselves, or we know so much that we think we're there. Our sufficiency comes from the Lord. Everything we are and understand comes from the Most High. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 6.
And of course, that's for your fake Israelite, because when you ask him, well, who told you the father could take her back? He's like, it's right there. You can read it for yourself. He's learning himself. He's not learning from the Lord. How do you learn from the Lord?
A man above
You have to get a man of the Lord to learn from. You get the point? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 6. Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament.
Right? What does able ministers of the New Testament mean? Able ministers. Able ministers. What does that mean?
We are now, everybody's able to be, it's like every Israelite can be a priest.
Yeah, you're right. But I need a little different answer.
So, men that's authorized and experienced.
Able, you probably have to look a minister.
Oh, okay. I would say, because of Christ, we got a chance to. Well, we are able ministers through Christ. Like,
Yeah, but what does minister? What does minister mean?
in the council.
Go ahead, Kaga.
Oh, so like, I got the definition. Is a member of a clergy, especially of
Clergy.
Oh, so like, the second one, a head of a government department.
Okay, those are titles. Minister, member of clergy, like minister, Reverend Dr. Paul, something. Minister, like a member of parliament or political government, like a minister. But minister means something else. Any more?
A member of a clergy,
Right? Any more?
especially of Protestant
Keep reading.
churches,
Any more?
attending to needs of someone.
Attending to the needs of someone. That's the minister, which means to
Help.
another-
Careful.
a little bit more.
To serve.
To serve someone. To serve someone is to minister to someone. So your ministers in church, they're really not ministers.
Right.
Because they don't serve nobody but
Right.
themselves. You get the point? Your politicians who are ministers, they don't serve anybody, because minister means to tend to someone, like a nurse. A nurse ministers. She serves. You buzz that bell, they better come running, or else it's a problem. You get the point? It's to serve someone. In here, you get raised up to do what? What do you get raised to do? Come on.
Get raised up to
One word, to serve. That's it. To serve. Your life as you come through this door is all about what? Serving.
Right.
Serving. You don't come through. What's the first duty you get in here as you come through? As soon as you become a trooper. Who remembers?
To be a reader, sir.
There's one. You have plenty duties, but there's one that's people don't like because they're carnal.
Clean the bathroom.
Clean. Pick up a goddamn broom. Right? Pick up a broom. Arwadi and Kagar, they came here, it's like, we need some better tools, and brought their own brooms and mops to serve. You get the point? It's a system of how you raise up righteous men and women. You come up in service all the way. And once you come up in service, there's nobody who is in need. There's nobody among you who is in need because we have a room of servers. How in the hell you could have a problem? How could you even be lacking anything? If you are, then there ain't no serving going on. You get the point? Is a servant. Also, Christ said, let he that is greatest amongst you be what? Even if you don't know it, you should know it from the goddamn topic we was just going over. He that is great. When they was arguing with him about rank, not arguing, but they was questioning him about rank because they was arguing amongst themselves who was going to replace him when he was gone. Right? Who was going to be the greatest? Who was going to take over? How to be the greatest? How to get up in rank? As some young men always consider. And Christ said, "He that is greatest amongst you, let him be greatest servant." Greatest servant. You have to. It comes with it. You get raised up. You cannot not take a phone call out. You cannot not get up off your bed at 4 in the morning because somebody in trouble. That's something you just cannot do. If you ever do it, then you should just resign. You should give it up to somebody else who can do the job. Right. The whole job is for serving. Now, understanding that Shabbat, that Israelite there who's talking about, yes, you could, the father could refuse. He's not a servant. Because if you're serving, you realize this thing will happen here. They needed this marriage, obviously.
Right.
You know what I mean? They done did what they did. What they need now is what? A send-off. Listen, this is your husband now, this is your wife now. Lord be with you all. I want 100 head of cattle. You work out payment plan, give me, 10 a month. You know what I mean? 10 a month, by December, you're good. You know what I mean? Lord be with you, bring them babies. Now they need that. You get the point? Now you need, brothers come to the school with so many different things. There's brothers who come in here that couldn't read, literally couldn't read, and learn to read. You get the point? It's the first time they ever read anything was the Bible. Ever. You get the point? Because now what? Somebody is up with them. Yeah, no, this. Don't listen, don't give up. Do this thing right here. Sisters who come in here, horrible lives, don't have abortions, have no confidence in themselves in anything. Not a marriage, much less children, because she done murdered so many. And she gets the confidence to go in there and have a marriage and then raise up a family. Multiple children. Because why? Somebody was there to serve. Somebody was there to listen to the calls. Somebody was there to give them the counsel. Somebody was there to not, do the letter of the law, but carry out the spirit of the law. You get the point? Come on.
Right, and brothers come in here and really learn how to not beef with each other over small shit. Like that's a big thing. Like
because you got somebody serving. Somebody serving in between. So now you don't feel like you're carrying this burden by yourself. Somebody else is carrying it with you. You get the point? This is a place of service. Right? So that's the ministration of the New Testament. All right? To minister is to serve. To serve this new covenant we under, of course, through Christ, as he said. Keep reading. So, like, could God say something?
No, it's like I was going to see if I can make an example. The year rule that I.S.U.P.K had, 6 months or 2 years.
6 months to a year.
That's spiritual too, because like I'm not trying to speak on other brothers, but like they might not even make it to that year rule. They end up marrying, and the spiritual behind this, because that was meant for them to be together. So you got to send them off.
Okay, I wouldn't say that because now everybody gonna be like, well, you know, so I just ain't gonna survive the courtship. So let me just stick it in now. I'll pay you later. I'm gonna just do this right here. Clap, clap, stick what? Go ahead. No, that's not the reason why I could go. I'm saying your names, everybody gonna know. That's in case could I slide in the inbox. Oh, you the same brother who said you ain't gonna survive the 6 months. It's a lot. He make twins, girls. He's make twins. If you want twins, come see God. Go ahead.
I would think the spirit is just to make sure you really like, you really like each other, you really want her.
Okay, no. This one here is for the father. The deed is done.
Oh, it's like I thought that was year rules.
Oh, you talking about the 1 year rule?
Yeah.
Okay, the 6 months to 1 year rule is to make sure this doesn't become a Christian church. It doesn't have to be to make sure you really like her and all that shit. That's besides it.
Right.
This is to make sure this does not become church. Right? This does not become, what are you doing after church? I'm going to eat. Can I come? And somehow the taco stand is your bedroom. You understand? And nobody finds out until what? Another brother going to marry her, and then you hurt because you never got your tacos, and now you have something to say. So this is to make sure this doesn't become a whorehouse. That's not it. It's the 6 months to a year rule is strictly to make sure this place does not become the Christian church, because once again, this is a place where service is done. This is not a place where you come to serve yourself. And of course, the Christian church is a place where you can serve yourself. It's a buffet. You can eat what you want when you want. This is a place where you open the door, mop the floor, set the chairs up, put the oil on, cut the meat up yourself, season the chicken, cook the shit, get the drink, and bring a plate to whoever shows up. This is not a place for you to satisfy your orgasms. You get the point? That's what the 6 months to a year rule is for. Whether you really like the person or not has nothing to do with it. That's aftermarket politics. That's it. You can like each other right now for 1 year. And then as soon as that baby born, as soon as you can't get sex when you want, now I don't know if I like it so much. No, marriage because that's what marriage is. Marriage is work. Once again, it's a business. You're taking on a business. Literally, you're taking on a fucking corporation. Excuse my language. That's what you're taking on. So, whether they really like the person or not, that's irrelevant. You signed up for something you can't carry back. You better make sure this business thrives. Right. You better make sure this turns over a profit and not a loss, because you can't put it back. Okay, marriage is a commitment, is a contract that you can't give up, right? Do you have to really like a child that you have? You have a ton of kids, right? You might not understand the concept now, but let's think you have like 12 kids. Like Jacob, you have a whole ton of kids. You might be like, this motherfucker here, boy. This one here? Does that mean you stop being a father to this kid? No. Liking? Shit. If marriage is based on the liking only, the liking is a part of it. You like the person. But then there's another part where this now is duty. Like anything. Brotherhood. Nigga might come in here, or sister might come in here that's totally opposite to you. Opposite in every way. You like, up, you like down. You like left, they like right. What does that mean? You can't be a brother because you all don't like each other? No, that's not this. That's the church. And when you have stuff like that, your life becomes so much better when your feelings and stuff don't really get to make decisions for you. This is duty. This is a profession. You don't like, anybody love their job? The job you all have now, the slave you have. You love it, right? You stick your job up on your wall. Hey, look at this plaque right here, McDougal's, right? I'm up the floor like Eddie Murphy. Anybody love the job? You'll go every day, right? You'll go to work late? You'll show up on time, right? Some of y'all show up half hour early. Hey, where you at? Oh, I'm just out here in the parking lot waiting for them to call me in. I'll be like, God damn, shit. You must love that job. No, you don't. But regardless of how you feel, you do your duty. That's how you be successful. Now, if you like the person, it's a bonus act. It's an absolute bonus. But if you look at it the other way around about liking the person first, you're going to fail. Because there's going to be days when you cannot stand each other. There's going to be days when you just, I'm going to take a plane ticket anyway, just to get away from your dumb ass. Both sides. This is both sides. This is not just, man to woman or woman to, this is, both you can't stand each other. But what does that mean? That what? The marriage is, it means you go on Facebook and say it's complicated, you slut? Huh? It doesn't mean you fell out of love? What the fuck is that? You fell out of love? What the fuck does that mean? You fell out of something? Where was love carrying you that you fell out of it? No, this is a job like anything. It's a job. Some days your kids gonna piss you off. You're gonna fantasize about throwing them out of a fucking window. Look at my laugh. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna look at them kids and you're gonna be like, wait till they get old enough where they could get some mouth back and stomp around. Like, wait, what? Who are you talking to? And then what does that mean? You're not a parent anymore? You no longer my child. All that TV drama bullshit. Nigga, you better get in there and make sure that business thrive, though. Right. Like any business you open, you're going to have days where it's like, man, I don't know if this is meant for me. But how does it succeed? Today's a bad day. Tomorrow we get back up, open for business again. Again, that's it. You just, failure is not... Okay, the option of I'm not dealing with this business anymore is why it fails. But if you know that, nobody says, I ain't going to slave no more and just sit there. So why are you going back to that slave? Well, I don't have a choice. Well, if you apply that to every goddamn thing, dummy, you will win. You just win. I don't have a choice. And why are you going to class, nigga? Look how you gotta say Canada one counter, man. You gotta sweep the floor and do this. And why you do it? Brother, I don't have a choice. That's just, why are you going to camp and holding posts and doing this? Listen, last week they wanted to kill you all. Well, I don't have a choice. I just have to be on the corner next week. To them, it sounds weird as they battle cancer and AIDS. And the child that they're hugging and kissing in the picture that's on their Facebook story is not theirs. You get the point? As they're doing that, they're telling you, man, you should reevaluate your life choices. Nigga, look at your choices. And look at what you decide not to do. Don't tell me about nothing. I'm here to serve. I'm here to do. I don't have a choice here now. I have to be here. I have to do this. I have to undertake this. It's a certain what? It's a certain type of lifestyle, but on topic.
Responsibility. On
topic, you're right.
Sir.
It's a certain type of spirit you have to have. You have to have a certain type of spirit of, okay, well, let's deal with this right now. Let's deal with this versus the law says I can't refuse. Moses gave a bill of divorce too. What does that mean? You're going to come in here and ask for that? You get the point? And Moses said it was for the hardness of your heart, meaning you didn't have the spirit to have a successful one. You was Jeremiah say you're spiritually slow. He's on the spiritual yellow bus. You get the point? It's spiritually slow. Like this, David said, not David, it's in scripture, what can separate us from the love of God? Christians say it all the time. Nothing can separate us from the love of God except anything that doesn't make me feel good on Sunday. That's how Christians live their life. Nothing can separate us from the love of God. I'm holy, filled, sanctified, blah, 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 blah. I just can't forgive that one thing. Whatever it is. It's different for each Christian. But I just can't get over that. That's how a Christian is. You don't understand the spirit of it. What we was reading before, the Father, he's going to understand the spirit of the thing. If the Son don't come to him, the deed is done. All right, nigga, just give me a head of cat, 100 head of cat. Let's, you're going to pay for the dowry and stealing. You're going to pay. And that's that. Give me some more in Corinthians, please. What was that?
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament, not of the letter, but of the Spirit.
Right, who made us able ministers of the New Testament, not of the letter, but of the Spirit. Not of the letter of the law, but of the Spirit. That's why it's new, because it's new in terms of, it's not new as something new written. It's understanding. It's new because, okay, Christ being black was in the scriptures 2,000 years out. But what's new? The understanding of it. This book was around. Why didn't we get it? Now they're understanding it. It's the new, Christ is bringing forth that spirit. That's the spirit we have in here. Keep going.
Come. For the letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life.
What was that? 6. Right? For the letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life. The letter of the law does what? Kill. Back to the question I asked you. What does the law say about homosexual? You must kill it. What's the spirit of that law?
To make him not do.
To make him not be a homosexual. Give him a hand. That's the letter of the law. The law says, you ask anybody, what does the Bible say about homosexuality? They'll say, don't be a homosexual. The Bible does not say, don't be a homosexual. The Bible says, if any man that layeth with a man must be put to death. That's the letter of the law. The spirit of that law means, better not do that. It's like anything. What does the law say about, give me something. Give me,
It's like I was going to say, spit around to the children to put away evil from Israel.
I want something practical today. What does the law say about attempt on the president's life or assassinating the president? Oh, let me get something a little more simple. First degree murder. What's the law say? You could get a death penalty, right?
Right.
What is the spirit of that law?
To have you not murdered.
Yeah, have you not murdered? You understand? Amongst black people, even though the law doesn't say if you kill white people, you get punished harder. But amongst black people know you get less time if you kill somebody black versus somebody white. Right? What's the spirit of the laws of America? That's the spirit they're telling you is, nigga, if you want to kill somebody, kill your own, but don't touch these people right here. Right. There's a certain spirit of that law. You got to see what the law is trying to get you to do. They want you to do this particular thing right here. The spirit of the law of the father refusing, the spirit of that law is to make him not refuse. The Lord is fair. He's very fair. You could refuse, yes. You have the right of the father. Yes, he stole from you. Yes, you should be angry. But listen now, he done took that thing. He done got it. Ain't no other man could come there and he be her first. Just let him have the good. Just let him have her. What's he gonna do? You gonna pay him the money and then accept something that's devalued? No, just let him go ahead. Let him go ahead. It didn't start off how you wanted it, but brother, this thing could be, a fruitful marriage and make children. You're gonna have grandchildren. But before long, he doesn't forget about it. He drinking with the brother. And now she in the kitchen making both of them food. Now she got 2 good men in her life, her father and her husband. You get the point now? It's the spirit. You want the spirit of the Lord. You want to keep that spirit because, again, the Lord is a father and this is his family. At the end of the day, this is family. This is business with family. You got to think about it like that. You get the point? Come on.
Sorry, sir, for me. even though he stole from the father, and he came back to, to pay his dues.
Mm-hmm.
What can we say that because of the spirit of the law, so we won't further sin?
What do you mean? What do you feel like sin?
Thou shalt not steal.
Okay.
He stole from her father, basically by taking her.
Mm-hmm.
That's his property.
Right.
Before it became his property.
Right. And you say if this law is so that he doesn't further it. Okay, don't think like that. This law is so that two brothers don't end up hating each other. Because at the end of the day, those are the two authorities there. She doesn't really have too much authority in that city. The only authority she had was opening her legs or closing it. That's basically it. Once you open your legs, sisters, you give up your authority for anything. That's your power. Right? That's where it is. You have sex with somebody, now he's your daddy, he's your head. So this is really transaction between two brothers. It's just like, imagine we live in a barracks together, right? Or one big house and we all have rooms. Barak is Judah. I'm Benjamin, Nakama and Levi, you got. Judah like what? Fried chicken. I bring in some curry goat. You might bring something else that God has. I might bring that rice Levi cook. I might come down one day and just be like, I'm taking some Barak chicken. Shit, I ain't never had no chicken before. I like the shit. Rob might be like, nigga, goddamn, you could have just asked me first. My fault, man. My fault. I'm sorry. What in the right spirit? What should I do? What should happen? Salak, I don't give it away. No, I don't stole from him. Right spirit, he comes, he tells me about what should I do.
It's either you can pay him, or you can buy more chicken, or you can pay him, or
I would give him back what I took. You get the point? I would pay him so that me and I'm just using it as an example. In a situation like that, for real, you would have a counselor. Right? One brother go to a brother if you don't hear him, whatever. But I'm just using it just in that context of it's to stop this being a beef over property.
Right.
It's to kill that. It's to kill me having an excuse to hate you. You understand? It's to kill that thing. Let me take this off here from my thing. That might be it. And you can get that smoke going back too. Right? It's to stop that beef. I think it's once or twice. One more. So what? Right? It's to stop the, Satan from dividing the nation. You get the point? Like that's the spirit of it. The spirit of it is two brothers don't have to hate each other now. They don't have to. This is fine. It happens, Zach. It happens. Think it happened. You see the brother every day riding this horse and training, or he might be a chef, or she watching him 5 Passover since she's 16. She's 21 now. And they meet by the well. And they start talking and they're meeting by the well every day for about 3 weeks. And then, it happened.
Right. So Salakia, so basically how I worded it was the father was trying to teach the brother a lesson, and it's not that way. I see what you're saying. It makes more sense.
Okay.
As opposed to what I just said.
Yeah, the law, don't think to, stop him from sinning anymore.
Right.
He's like, there's no, he married the girl. He just, okay, it's, if you go to a car dealership, right?
Right.
Imagine you get the keys, you take the car, and you're gone for like 2 weeks out. That ain't your car, but it is your car. You had to come back now and pay them for the car.
Right.
Or they could say what? No, pay me. They could say, we paying you and we taking this car back that they done run the tires up, black up the oil, whatever. You get the point? It's more so you already took it. Just you're coming back to pay now, pay.
Right.
Just pay, keep the car, it's done. You get the point? It's done. It shouldn't be done. He should go to the Father first, but the Lord is putting a provision in the law in case you all too can't help yourself, which happens. This thing does happen. What we're talking about is not something that's foreign. Shit like this does happen. You get the point? But this breakdown is for sure. You want to get it because, of course, you have, like as I said, I think Israelite who come and say, no, the father couldn't refuse, and that's that. The spirit of that is not that thing. It's different. You get the point? It's different. The camera, you want to secure that glass there, the spirit close to there. You know what I mean?
Salagi, I wasn't trying to speed it up, of course, but you did want us to remind you.
On the other topic. So what? Also now, so everybody understand that, right? There's a difference between the letter of the law. Keep reading that. Finish up that one in Corinthians, please. Somebody else hold to with 4 and 12, all right?
So like I said, you want verse 7?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Verse 7. But if the ministration of death, written and engraved in stones, was glorious, so that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. How shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather glorious?
You understand? So what he's saying is, anybody understands it? Want to take a shot at it? No sweat. Read it nice and loud, right? Try and read it. Don't read it for you to understand. Just read it. Read it through.
Verse 7. But if the ministration of death, written and engraved in stones, was glorious, so that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away. Verse 8. How shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather glorious?
Anybody want to try it?
The ministration of death is the law.
Yes. So he was saying, basically he's saying the administration of death, which is the law, that was written in stone, right, both physically and metaphorically, meaning that's the law. That's what it is. And it was so great that they couldn't even look at Moses' face. Remember, Moses had to walk around with a hood, like a veil over his head, because they couldn't behold his face. You get it? When he had so much glory on him, they couldn't look at it. He's saying, and that was to be done away with. How much more glorious would be the ministration of the Spirit be? You get the point? Meaning, Israel, remember, Solomon got the throne, David got the throne, Saul off of the law. Put this one to death, put that one, stone this, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. And we had built the greatest kingdom the world has ever seen. Solomon's still the wisest man. You know, they study our records. How much more is the ministration of the Spirit? Meaning, we was great sinning. That's how, and we were still great. How we know sinning? Because they was killing and stoning people. Remember, they brought the woman in adultery to Christ. Why? Because that's what they did with adulterers. And adulteresses, they would put them to death. So we had that reputation, had the, kingdom of David, the throne of David, Solomon had big empires. Solomon had a goddamn navy, ships. I tell you that in Kings. He had a whole, he was mighty. Right. You can go read up Solomon's throne, made of ivory and then overlaid in gold, right, with beasts at the front, statues. It was ridiculous, but we were sinning. And we had glory. How much better it would be if there was none, if everybody understood the spirit of the law. You get the point? If everybody understood the spirit of the law, it's going to be what? Even more glorious. Yes, he stole your daughter. He had sex with her. He didn't tell you nothing. He coming back now. You're angry. All right. Yeah, you could refuse him. But how much more glorious it would be if you tell him you're angry, tell him what he did was wrong, but I see you might have some honor in you. You done had sex with her. Pay me this. And now let's be a family. The brother might be like, God damn. This girl here, she come from a mighty family. You know what I mean? I really did wrong. I'm going to make this thing right. And then 10, 15 years later, when you have kids running around, what? Everybody gonna laugh and tell the story of, remember when we got married? Yeah, it was in the back of the well. When you thought your father was coming and blah, 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 blah. And it's glory. You get the point, there's a certain amount of glory in it. Because it's, you know, it's just the spirit behind it. Versus some fake Israelites saying, yeah, he could refuse and he gonna pay me. And now you have a broad who 35 years or 45 years or whatever, and you can't get somebody to take her because you done, you know, you was so much for the letter of the law. You understand?
Right.
So now that's one thing. Give me the others. Give me Tobit 4 and 12, which is another aspect of the marriage we're gonna break down. All right. So
so is that how it's going to be when Christ returns and we're in rulership, where it talks about the law? I don't want to quote it wrong. How we won't really need the law.
Okay, no, the law is going to be in full effect then. It's going to be in full effect. You're going to get your head cut off, get your hand cut off. You're going to be executed the same goddamn way. You're going to this is the thing. In Christ's rulership, that kingdom is never going to fail. That king ain't no other nation going to come in there and take over and sell us. None of that shit. Christ's kingdom is established forever. And anybody who breaks the law is getting dealt with in that kingdom. You get the point? It's not so much that in the kingdom there's going to be nobody would sin. You don't think of it like that. Just think his rulership is going to be, just think of father. Just having a father in the house who's perfect. He's the perfect father. You get the point? Does that mean he ain't gonna bust your ass? Yes, he will. But you have a father. You get the point? Just like that. Just think like that. And of course, being growing up in it, there's certain things, there's certain weaknesses we have now we're not gonna have. Because you don't grow up in America, like we have a certain amount of weaknesses that we give up certain things. We give up, we fight halfway, we give in to something, not even knowing that you could fight that thing. You could fight that thing. You're not going to have that in the kingdom because you grow up in the spirit of your culture. You're already going to be knowing certain things. You get the point? Okay. But things are going to happen and you're going to pay. All right? You're going to pay. You're going to pay. In fact, it says in Jeremiah 31:31. Give me that. Give me Jeremiah 31. Start at 30 and then 31. I believe that should be it.
So like I said, did you want Tobit?
Yeah, we're going there next.
Okay.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 30. But everyone shall die for his own iniquity.
Start at so far. 28.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 28. And it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord.
Right, go ahead.
In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge.
Right, what does that mean? You know when you eat a grape that's not sweet, how it set your teeth on edge is like, you know, I don't know how y'all would call it, but it set your teeth on it. Come on.
His countenance, the face that he makes.
No, you just think you eat like a lemon, straight lemon, how it's like, because the acid is, you ever grind your teeth together, it's rough when you eat them citrus fruits? But it's not sweet, it ain't ripe, it's still kind of green.
Right.
It's sour. And it set your teeth on edge. The acid done hit it already. What is the scripture talking about here where the father eat the sour grape and the son's teeth is set on edge?
Okay, so this one is saying, if the father send the child to children pay for it.
That's it. That's in Numbers. He will visit the iniquity of the fathers unto the children up to the third and fourth generation. A time is coming when no longer will the father eat sour grapes and the children pay for it. What happened with David? You understand? David, the Lord said, listen, I ain't gonna take the kingdom from you. No, he Not David, Solomon. When Solomon sinned against the Lord, he punished Solomon's sons. You get the point? That's how it happens. When Ham walked in on Noah, who did the Lord curse? Did he curse Ham?
Nah,
Who he cursed?
son.
Canaan. You understand? He cursed Canaan because Canaan had to be born and wonder why his life was so hell, and he would know, damn, my father must have sinned. You get the point? That's how we were living all the time. We in America, why? Because our forefathers sinned. Right? A time is coming when the children ain't gonna pay no more for the sins of the fathers. Keep reading.
Come. Salaki, come. Verse 30. But everyone shall die for his own iniquity.
That's the kingdom of heaven. Get the point? Everyone is gonna die for whatever they do. That's it. This is on you now. Get the point? They know, it's on you now. Go ahead.
Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge.
You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
You understand? That's what it's talking about then. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be like that. You're going to get your punishment right there and there because it's a righteous rulership. You understand? It's a righteous rulership. This is the kingdom of heaven. This is not America. This is not waiting 2 years for trial and no. That's gonna be it. You get the point? Arwadi, you had it, you understand also? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I phrased it incorrectly.
No,
I think what I was referring to where the scripture about how the law is going to be written in our hearts.
That too. The law's gonna be in your inward parts, right? That there is more so you growing up in the culture of it. So nobody has to teach you Passover. Like no. Like kids now, nobody has to teach them Christmas because it's Christmas. They don't have to teach anybody how to have the Christmas spirit. Right. Because they're watching the Grinch that stole Christmas. You're watching all the cartoons and all kind of shit growing up. So they learn it growing up. It's the same thing in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to learn that from small. So the law going to be in the inward parts. However, we had a kingdom where kids was born in there, growing up, learning it too. And still sinning. You get the point? So don't think the kingdom of heaven is a place where there will be no sin and that there will not be sin like how it is here, where sin is marketed and rampant and just an alternative lifestyle. You get the point? Okay. That's nothing wrong. It's an alternative lifestyle. It's a different way of life. It's the other white meat. It's not abomination. It's the kingdom of heaven is not going to be like that. You understand? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be a place where the Spirit of the Lord is going to be marketed. The Spirit of the Lord is going to prevail. The Spirit of the Lord is going to be everywhere. And of course, if you reject the Spirit of the Lord, you're going to face the punishment right there. Right? Why more so you're going to face the punishment right there?
It's like because the wages of sin is death.
Give me it practically.
Yo, Salaki, sir, you're going to pay for what you did.
Okay, why more so? It's a different society.
No, he's saying to keep this thing holy. Like it's
Okay, maybe I'm phrasing it wrong. Why is pedophilia able to exist today?
Right, because there's no punishment for it, and that's the culture of
that's the culture.
It's culture of the kind.
So the culture in the kingdom is not going to be that. So if somebody sees something, what's going to happen?
Justice.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Right.
Well, that's alternative lifestyle. Oh no, that's no, nigga. No, that shit. You get the point? Just think practically. Something going on, it ain't, that's just so and so and whatever. Just think in anything. In the kingdom, it's not going to be that. You know, it's good for someone to step to it quickly and address the shit and then bring it to the priest. And then that's that.
Prime example, I was out with my cousin and my boys. It might have been, you know, one too many beers, but he talked back and forth with the sister that we knew for 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And between then, she had a child, but not his child. So like, but they wasn't together when she had.
Yeah, they was on a break.
Yeah. So it was off and on. So, you know, he let me know, hey, so and so on the phone. So I might have one too many beers, and I just like got a little angry. I said, yo, hang the phone up. I told him hang the phone up. I said, leave her alone. So why you keep going back and forth. Stop doing that. And he couldn't understand it because he don't understand the Bible, like he in the world. So
It's a different culture.
So he's like, nigga, what you want her? Like, and I was like, so I had to check him.
He said, wouldn't you want her?
No, he said, do I want her? Like, why would you
You become his enemy, yeah.
Right.
You
So he said, why would you do that? I said, nigga, do you think do I want her? No. I'm trying to tell you.
You shouldn't want her.
So he was like, he said, damn, like, why? So he asked me, damn, why do you care for her so much? I said, nigga, she's my sister. And he was like, I never see you act. Like, he was so amazed.
But the girl is related to you?
No.
But you saying sister like she black?
Yes. But I explained that to him too.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing.
Culture shock.
Yeah, he culture shock. He's like, what?
He's like, I never see you act like this. I said, I'm sorry. And I said, that's my fault. I'm preaching to come my ear.
That's it. You sitting down here thinking you talking to, Riri. This is Nakamaya. Yeah, what's he doing? That's it. It's the vibe is going to be so different in the kingdom. It's going to be not here.
Right.
It's hard to understand because we think this is how it is. But it's not. It's going to be, it's different. It's like, you know what it's like? I'm going to give you a good example. That's Shakari Richardson, right? Everybody wondering, how she could mess up, how she could do this, how she could do that. When you're a young athlete, anybody who ever plays sports at any level, you represent your school or club at a young level. Sometimes the pressure gets too much for you because you're a kid. Old school, even this is older brothers on the blocks who might be selling drugs, they ain't selling to you because they look at you like you ain't filthy like us. You couldn't make it out. I have to do this. You don't. Get a nigga off the block. Get her back inside. They show up to some party before some shit happen, man. Get them out of here. They don't need to be here for this. There's a certain amount of protection, and that's the culture. Everybody know this is the one who will make it out. That's just think like that, but everybody is like that. Like we look at, you don't have to be a track star for somebody to value you. Just think it's like, nigga, what's you doing? It's like that. You get the point? But everybody should remember that time. It probably ain't like that now. Nobody don't give a damn. But there was a time, Mark, you would have a hedge around you from the people who doing the most dirt. Right. But because they look at you and it's like, damn, shit, I wish I could do that. But you making it out. You don't have to come down this route. I ain't gonna allow you to, man, get out. Don't give him none. He ain't drinking tonight. He ain't getting high. You down there want to get high with them. Nah, you getting high, man. You so-and-so. Nah, this ain't for you, man. Go live, man. Go out there and succeed. Imagine that with everybody, and you don't have to be a superstar. It's a culture we're going to have that's different. The spirit is just going to be way different. You get the point? It's going to be more, it's just a thriving business. Right. And so it's just going to be a whole thriving business. All right? We good? That was your question, right? No, that was the sister question. Salaki, you had something you was going to say. Or something you was going to read?
Tobit 4 and 12.
Okay, no sweat. Tobit 4 and 12. It's still on the same topic, all right? Tobit 4 and 12. This is another breakdown. You're going to have fake Israelites or Christians. And really, Christians going to now delve over into the fake Israelite world because Christianity is getting watered down so much and played out. They're starting to pick up the Israelite doctrine a whole lot. So this is going to come up too. Give me Tobit 4 and 12. Quickly, all right?
Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Go ahead.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Right, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. That's a law against what?
Interracial marriage.
For some reason, yeah. So like interracial marriage. Right? However, there's something else in there. Keep reading.
Come. And take not a strange woman to wife.
Right, which is of course the heathen. Go ahead.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Right, which is not of thy father's tribe. Come on.
So what Christians gonna try to say? Now they ain't gonna talk about incest, are they?
No.
Okay.
Okay, that used to be an argument. I don't hear that no more. And that's because they're starting to pick up the Israelite doctrine. I don't know if you remember, years ago, they used to say how Adam and Eve was brother and sister and had sex with each other. Right. And then they were saying, we all was born of incest because who did Cain have sex with? Because they believed those was the 3 people on the earth ever. So Cain had to have sex with who? Eve? They're stupid. But because of the Israelite school of I.S.U.P.K, they're hearing it and they started to incorporate that in the churches now. That's why I brought up the marriage. That's coming up in the church now. I'm hearing them preachers. There's one brother. He be super fiery. He's saying a ring and license don't mean nothing. They're saying they should know in the churches. So you're going to have to really know the breakdown all the way inside out so you could fish more because it's getting more cloudy and muddy now because, of course, the internet and everything else. You get the point? So with this here, chiefly take a woman of the tribe of your father. We are from different tribes. So what does that mean?
It's like when I was gonna give a statement, what all the camps do from different camps, they normally say like you can't, if you Judah, you can't marry a Ephraimite, you gotta marry a sister from Judah.
That's the kind of dumb backward shit that you say.
Right.
So look, just the question you asked, the Christian church, like they'll start to word it as like you gotta marry your own race, not knowing that blacks, Latinos, and American Indians all.
What is he saying? Is he saying like what he was just saying? They're gonna start saying if you're Judah, you could only take a wife or a husband who's Judah. If you're I.S.U.P.K, you could only take a wife or a husband who's I.S.U.P.K. Go ahead.
It's like is what they're saying? Saying that you should try and get a married woman from your tribe first, chiefly.
Chiefly, that's what I'm saying. Chiefly, that's the spirit of it. The spirit of it, because of course, eventually they'll just be one big tribe. It ain't going to be tribes, and the culture is going to get mixed, and the inheritance, which is. I think, give me numbers 36 and 6. I think that's it. Is there say anything else here about the inheritance? Let me catch up with you.
Oh.
Common concept.
What does it say? Keep reading. Read it,
Come.
or whoever.
For we are the children of the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
No, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
Right? So now, this here is, and what, once again, the spirit of this is talking about taking a woman from your people. Right? That's the spirit of it. Whether tribe, because of course, read from the beginning. No, not from the beginning. From the children of the prophets from Noah.
For we are the children of the prophets. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
Right. So if you should chiefly take a wife of the tribe of your people, what tribe was Noah from? Was Noah in a tribe? Was Abraham in a tribe? Who else? Isaac. What tribe was Isaac from?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. What tribe was Jacob from? It wasn't. But they all took wives that was kindred, cousins, in their family. Right? Who's the brothers? Jacob? Who's the one that Jacob married who? Rebecca and Leah, right? Rebecca was his cousin. Was his first cousin. You get the point? Rebecca and Leah were sisters. He was not supposed to have the two, but something happened and he didn't know no better. But this is talking about taking from your own family. But chiefly take one from the your father's tribe. Why? Because of, give me numbers 36 and 6, the inheritance, right? With that marriage comes an inheritance, right? that girl is going to come with some land. That girl is going to come with some property and some possession. So, of course, you might be Levi, or you might be Gad, or whichever, and you have Issachar or Ephraim, and now you have part of Ephraim's land. You get the point? You have part of Ephraim's inheritance. The Lord is saying, before this get too prevalent, and you just own half of Manasseh land, chiefly take from the tribe of your fathers. But it is not unlawful for you to take from another tribe. Right? And we're going to give me Numbers 36 and 6. And then somebody else who will Judges 21 and 16.
It's Numbers 36 and 6. This is the thing which the Lord doth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. Verse 7. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers.
You understand? It was in the law. It was in the law. Why? Because, of course, the inheritance will start moving. Because now this brother might be Manasseh. He married a Judite. Now her inheritance, it comes under his house. Now it's moving. The spirit there is just, it's not saying it's unlawful. It's not unlawful. It's perfectly lawful, and we're going to get into it. But again, the reason for it was what? So that the inheritance could stay within the tribe, which is the land, all right? It says it right there. Give me verse 7 again.
Come on, verse 7. So shall the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers.
Keep going.
And every daughter that possesseth an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers.
Right. The inheritance of the father is what? The land. Right. Some daughters, they're going to have some land. Now you go marry her, that's your land.
Right.
Well, you not from the tribe. You understand? So now it's moving. Remember, every tribe going to get their land. You get the point? The Lord is saying is going to start passing and switching. This is now to have the spirit of it, to not do that, to not go and fully take over and, hamper a whole situation again. And what would that bring?
Strife
Amongst
brothers.
And a father don't want his children to fight. Any father, you don't like to hear your kids fighting. You don't like to hear it too much. You don't want to hear that. You all get along. If you all can't play nice, you all ain't playing at all. A father, he don't want that, so he's cutting everything that could bring that type of strife. However, it's not unlawful. You can't do it. You get the point? Hold on a second. Sure, so you get some time. Okay, come on. Yeah. Right. See, they don't give a damn. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 10 o'clock might be good because I know the processing the last time took a little while. So we might have to go for 10. If that's the earliest. If it could go at 9:30, I'm going to try it. But last time it processed for a long while because of the leg. I'm definitely. Still a shot. Yeah, I said, yeah, you're gonna look sharp still. It looks sharp for since you do the camera. But I'm gonna try for 9:30. It seemed like because I don't think it will be ready now. I'll let him know and check it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, come on. It should be. I think 9:30 could be ready. Okay. Okay, come on. No sir. No sir. You have some check that. Okay. So okay, so you understand that with the inheritance, right? Okay, good. Boom. So now give me you had numbers 36 and 6, 7 and 8. Give me Judges 21, 16 through 20.
Judges.
Right? But once again, these arguments may not come up or they might start coming up more. It's just this is just to go a little bit more in depth into it, because as you battling these people on the internet, in real, wherever, you're gonna show them an understanding they did not have, and that's gonna be your fishing power. You understand? That's how you're gonna fish them into the truth, because you saying something they have no clue of. You get the point? Come on.
I never did mention that when you said that the father was the one who had to pay if he refused. Nobody
He never mentioned that.
I didn't know that. He didn't know that. Nobody knew that.
Yeah, that's it.
Conversation.
That's what I'm saying. Like once you really understand it, brother, you start pulling them out into the deep, they're gonna stay away from you. They're gonna stay away from you because really they're Israelite because you could have sex with women because you're in something radical. That's all. That's been it from day one. You in something radical, something strange, something militant. You could have sex with a whole ton of women, but it's just the church in a different color. It's just the church in a different uniform. And here we're building a nation, so they don't go that deep because it requires them to give up so much of what they lust after and what they desire. You're gonna have to give it up. You're gonna have to wait 6 months. You're gonna have to wait 6 months at least, and then a year. And on top of that, somebody gonna have to tell you, yes, you could go have sex with her now. Think about how many brothers in the world. So another man gonna tell me when I could have sex with her? Nigga, man, what's wrong with you? You stupid? You this, you that? No, nigga, I'm a soldier. But this life is not for everybody. You know what I mean? And guess what? Just like you don't want to follow orders, you gonna call me when that broad effing ain't following your orders. And I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna listen. And I'll know that the Lord is real. Don't even worry about it.
I was listening to some dude online. His name is Charleston White, and he was talking about, he was going off on Muslims, and then he went on to a bunch of Christians and Buddhists and all this other stuff. And he was talking bad about them, but then when he got to the Israelites, he was specifically talking about us, but he didn't mention us.
Of course not.
And he was saying, but y'all too militant. Y'all gotta give up a whole lot of stuff. I can't do that.
You can't do it. You can't do it. You know, it's 90 days up in here. 90 days all. You can't even decide what you're gonna wear to class if you want to be a soldier. 90 days is all black, which means your wardrobe changes because of a man you don't know giving an order. If you want to be up in here, it changes. It's your life is more ordered now. Your life is so much more ordered, and some men cannot do that because they want to be able to go get high in the middle of the night on a whim. They want to be able to go have sex and then blame it on the alcohol. And you remember that song, blame it on the juice, something getting loose, right? Blame it on the alcohol. They want to be able to do that. And what they're not telling you is they ain't going to tell you the homosexuality they're in, they blame it on the alcohol too. They ain't gonna tell you all that trade there on broads that they're touching each other in that room too. They ain't gonna tell you that shit. But that's the life they choose out. Me, I don't have a choice. I had to be here. So I don't have that choice. They have the choice to do that, let them do it. You get the point? Let them do it. But this is they say the things they say because it allows them to be lust filled and to satisfy their lust. And when you really get down to the root of it, it's always about what they can eat and who they can have sex with. That's the root of every doctrine. Every single one. You get the point? Where we at? Judges 21 and 16, please.
Judges chapter 21, verse 16. Then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for the wives for them that remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? And they said, there must be an inheritance for them that be escaped of Benjamin. The tribe be not destroyed out of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18. How would bet we may not give them wives of our daughters? For the children of Israel have sworn, saying, Cursed be he that giveth a wife of Benjamin. Then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord of Shiloh, yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, and on the south of Lebanon.
What verse you at now?
19.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 20. Therefore they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie and wait in the vineyards. Verse 21. And see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance and dances, then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin.
All right. Who could break it down?
Okay, so they said the tribes at that time said, "Curse be any brother that give a daughter to Benjamin."
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know what I'm saying, the elders weren't going to be totally cruel, because they would have just, if the brothers had no wife to wife, that would be the end of Benjamin.
That would be the end of the tribe. There was no woman after that civil war. After that civil war that they had, brother, when that the Levites got raped, that war, brother, it put an end to the tribe of Benjamin. There would be no Benjamin, there would be no reggae, there would be no Buju, there would be no Usain Bolt, there would be none of that. It would just be, somebody to step in. I don't know. We lost 11 tribes of Israel. It's a lot.
Right, fast. So all the women were taken as concubines during that civil war?
Or killed. The brothers, the numbers is there. When you read through that whole Judges, read from like 18 till, 21 till like 22 or something. It was killing her. It was killing. I remember the first two battles, Benjamin put the hurt on them.
Right.
So that third one that drew Benjamin out into the open, and it was on from there. It was a wrap. It was absolute total. It was the end of Benjamin. You get the point?
Okay. So,
Oslaki,
okay.
hold on. Good
I was going to say, that might be a little bit off topic, but the tribe of Dan, is that like the reason why that, like you don't hear from them no more? They like vanished.
Okay, Dan is not vanished. Dan is a tribe within a tribe.
Okay.
All right. It's Genesis 49. The other, by the way, pull it out. Let's break it down quickly after. All right. Go ahead and come on.
Okay. Yeah. So now, the elders were like, nah, would Benjamin still being a son of Israel and still having an inheritance to a land? The elders are saying, we gotta replenish this tribe, or they're gonna just die out.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta keep their inheritance. We gotta let them keep thriving. They need women to have babies with.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but of course, because of the war, because of the men of Baal who was in Benjamin, who was doing so wickedly, them faggots who was up in there, excuse me, was Sodomites. The brothers who, just again, the father, you have a daughter, you don't want her to be with anybody from there.
Right.
Get the point? It's just like, somebody next door, your daughter like the nigga next door. You watch this nigga, the father, he ain't shit. It's like you telling me, nah, his son cannot marry my daughter.
Right.
It's like that. It's like a strong, no. It's a absolute refusal. So now keep going from there.
So, but then, and then they saying, nah, they said, but we said we did, but we already promised that anybody that gives a daughter to Benjamin should be cursed. So what we're gonna do is we still gonna give us some Israelite daughters in SHALAM. There's a feast every year. Now when they go, now y'all go down to the vineyards and when they come out and do the dances, them sisters, they can go and do them dances. Then you catch your sister.
They had a feast, a party, like a harvest party or a block party, and they were saying, listen, we know you fathers don't want to give these brothers, but how about if these brothers just go and try to seduce these girls, and if the girls like them, so be it. The girl she like this nigga here, she like it. What's he gonna do? You gonna once again the same law with the father. What's he gonna do? Utterly refuse? He come in there, well, go on, baby, so and so, and started singing that singing. She say, ooh wee, dreamy. What's he gonna come in there and do? He gonna turn the accent up louder. Yeah, he start talking something. She don't know what he's saying, but she say my name again. That's
exactly.
That's what Rips do. Say my name again. It's blah. You know what I mean? You seduce her. Now it's like, okay, it takes the burden off the father from making him say yes. It's like that. If that's what she wants, then that's what she wants. Go ahead. And now, of course, you have Benjamin able to get ribs from other tribes for the sake of keeping the tribe. The fathers could be happy. The brothers could be happy. The daughters definitely be happy. Everybody, once again, the business keeps going forward. The family keeps going forward. Ain't no strife. Ain't no breaking the brotherhood. None of that. You get the point? So, of course, if this ever comes up about you could only marry a tribe, that's incorrect. You can't just only. You could get one from each tribe if you want to.
Right.
You get 2 from each tribe. You get all 12 from one tribe. Whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Right? Give me Jeremiah 17:4.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause...
Say it one more time.
Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy inheritance. From thy heritage.
Inheritance. Heritage or inheritance?
Heritage.
Okay, go ahead.
That I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Right? That's your proof that you can marry a sister from another tribe, because why?
What's like, you talking because this verse right here? Like, can you read one more
time?
Oh, so you want to discontinue from your heritage?
We already discontinued from. Do you have any inheritance in your captivity? When you go to jail, you own anything? You don't have no land. The inheritance is already spoiled. So what inheritance are you taking from the other tribe? None. If anything, you're marrying debt. You marry her, well, she's gonna roll over as soon as the marriage begin. Well, how was that, baby? It was good. Daddy got this thing, these bills here, and this, that. No, you marry into responsibility. It's, if anything, come on.
All right, and I was laughing because I was talking to a brother. I was laughing. I was talking to a brother, and I was teaching my rib and somebody else about, like, when you take on ribs, you take on so many responsibilities you don't even know. Because you got no ribs, and then you get one rib. Okay, you got to deal with that. She might have her family. Okay, you got to take this rib to work, or help her get a passport, or help her pay student loans or something like that, or just deal with student loans. Now you got another rib. Her grandmother's sick, but she don't have no ride to the hospitals every week. So now you start taking the grandmother to the hospital every week.
No, you have to what? You have to become a minister.
Right. Now you can come.
No, you have to serve. Once again, this is not the place where you get to satisfy your orgasms.
Right.
If you want to do that, you're going to work for it. You're going to be called to work. You're going to have to handle certain things. It's not just free. You're going to serve. It's just that. But of course, this is I want to run over. We have no inheritance now anyway. So you go marry Issachar. What you going to get? Immigration problems. Not a vast land in northern Israel. You get the point? It's everything. Let's think about it. Whatever it is, there's no inheritance that will move from tribe to tribe now anyhow. Right? Somebody comes with this argument. Your first question is, why? Why you can't marry? They wouldn't know. Because they're not going to know that law in our numbers. Then if they pull the law, you tell them read on, because it says so that the inheritance doesn't jump from tribe to tribe. If they do say, well, the law don't want that from the inheritance moving, then your next step is, well, what's your inheritance now? What's the inheritance today? There's no inheritance to get. It's curses. There's curses and problems, and we marrying it up. We getting them, we getting it in. It doesn't matter. Levi, Gad, Reuben, whoever, we gain it in. You understand? It's not unlawful. It's perfectly lawful. It's not of the spirit. You wrong. You get the point? That's just something points I wanted to bring down so you could, get the whole thing broken down, all right? Right. Real quick, you had the one he was asking about with Dan?
I got that.
No.
Please.
This is Genesis 49.
Where is it in Genesis 49?
Genesis 49. Start at 16.
Yeah, come on, 16. Genesis chapter 49, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel.
Right, as one of the tribes of Israel. He is in the tribes of Israel, but he's as one of the tribes of Israel, right? Go ahead.
Verse 17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backwards.
Right, Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that bites his horse heels. What does that mean?
Well, you told me earlier that he's a tribe in the tribe, so basically he's more like a person that's going to sneak up. He's going to come out of nowhere.
He's going to be hidden.
Right.
You're not going to see him, but he's going to be there working. He's going to be there doing his thing. The other precept you need is Dan will leap from Bashir. I will find it for you. He's going to leap from Bashir or Bashir. I forget the word. But it's a place in Manasseh, right? Dan is part of Manasseh, right? Dan, he just didn't multiply to be a huge tribe anymore. He dwindled down his numbers. What it is, you have a family, which would be mother and father, or father and mother, father and a few ribs, and kids that might number what? 15, 20 in total between the ribs and children. That's a family. A tribe might be a few hundred people. You get the point? A nation is thousands, hundreds of thousands to millions. You get the point? It's a family, bigger. Their numbers was not big enough to be called a tribe, so you just come up under whoever else is right there. And Dan is in Manasseh, right? So some Cuban walking around right now, some Manassehite, he's Dan, but he's in Manasseh. You understand? I forget what it is. It's something that leap from Bashan. Leap from Bashan, I believe. I'm going to look it up, all right? Okay, good. Let me give you this last one. Okay, on to the name of the Lord. I'm going to have to go over that other one next week, all right? Barack, that last one, just because of the time. I don't want to keep you all too late, all right? Let's go over the name of the Lord real quick, unless there's other questions. Any questions online? On the room? No sweat. Give me Exodus 3 and 11. Exodus 3 and 11 real quick, all right?
The book of Exodus chapter 3 verse 11. And Moses said unto God, who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, verse 12, and he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain.
Good.
Verse 13. And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? Verse 14. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Verse,
we are 14, right? Okay. Boom. Anybody want to take a shot? Breaking it down. Come on, Shabbat.
It's like I do know he was kind of like being smart with him. Like tell him I am who I am.
Say it one more time.
It's like he was kind of being smart, like with Moses a little bit, and tell him who I am, who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
So I was gonna add on to it because the people during that time was rebellious, so they probably heard the name and they didn't believe, so that's why he kind of referring to I am who I am, like you know what I'm saying. Don't go against what I'm saying already because they already do the name.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Shalom. Most High saying, I am who I am. My name is whatever I want it to be.
Yahavanna. Yahavanna.
Come.
No, basically, that's what it is. It's like, well, why you question me? Like, I am who I am. Like, I don't owe you anything.
It's in. Go ahead. What's up? What's up?
Why are you questioning me?
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
I was gonna say, so I live. It's not in this scripture. There's not his name is not in the Hebrew in it. I mean, excuse me. In the Hebrew, his name is not in there. He's establishing his position.
Oh, you thought you was smart. You thought you was going to teach the class ahead of me, huh?
Did I?
Yeah. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, he's establishing. He was in saying that. He's pretty much. He was also establishing his position. Like I'm him. I'm him. Like that's what he's. I'm him. Like
you're saying it, but you're like saying it in the right spirit. It's a spirit behind what he said. Come on, Nakama. Nakama basically said it, how he said it.
It's just like, why are you questioning?
And that's how you, Arawade, why you laugh when Nakama said it like that? And you ought to see how Nakama sitting back there like, why are you questioning me? Like, I'm who I am. It's like, why you laugh? Because
it was so real, straight to the point.
It was so real, like what?
That's what your father will tell you.
That's like what a nigga in charge gonna say.
Right.
Like nigga, I am that nigga. Right. I am who I am. That's how the Lord said. But they don't understand the spirit of the law. They only understand the letter of the law. So you have Christians saying what the Lord's name is. Shapat, what do they say the Lord's name is? Based on this scripture right here. Come on, come on.
All right, all the Christians always say, he said, my name is I am who I am.
Yeah.
I am.
He says it right here. What's this? 14. Read 14 again. Whoever's reading, nice and loud.
Verse 14. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
He said, I am that nigga. What you talking about? Who tell them? Say, go tell them I send you. Is that I am who I am. Keep going.
And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am, have sent me unto you.
Yeah, go tell them I sent you. Get the point? But of course, carnal niggas who just want to have sex with little children and let white people come into their church, the Africans come into their church and have one big melting pot. Well, it says, he said, go tell them the I am sent you. You never had a father in your house. Father, he comes downstairs and check everybody and say, yeah, tell them that nigga up in that room sent you. Is his name the nigga in the room? No, he's for want of a better phrase, he learned his nuts swing a little bit. Right. He being a black man. They don't understand it because they don't understand the spirit behind it. They don't understand the spirit behind it. I am is not his name. This was him flexing a little bit. This is him, this is just a black man talking in charge. They don't understand it. Anybody ever seen The Wire? You seen The Wire? You remember Marlo, the young boy? You remember that? Y'all don't know that character. But after he looking it up, he Googling Marlo right now. He don't sweat. He don't sweat. Yeah, this before he died. This is a classic. He don't sweat.
It's like season 4.
Say that?
Like season 4.
I don't remember the seasons, but I know he came in at the end after the first ones that went in jail. But there was a scene in there. You remember the Sodomite who was killing everybody? The one with the gun, right? The dude, Chalky from Boardwalk Empire. There's a scene in there where that young boy Marlo and his whole crew. I wish you could pull it up. Everybody should be able to see it on. You might be able to pull it on the StreamYard. There's a scene in prison. Just type in Marlo, I am who I am. And he's sitting there. The sodomite was threatening Marlo in the street. Marlo's right-hand men didn't want to tell Marlo because they knew who he was. They knew how he would react. So they wanted to kill the sodomite without Marlo knowing. But they end up all in jail. So now they're sitting in the cell, waiting the holding cell, and the sodomite name come up. And somehow somebody say, yeah, he was out there talking shit. So Marlo's like, he was talking what? He said my name? He had my name in his mouth? And then he said, man, the brother told him, relax. He said, I ain't gonna relax. He said, I am who I am. I am my name. Like how you can have this dude. Now, is that him there saying, my name is I am? No. He's flexing like y'all don't know what he has. Come on.
Nah, I got this.
You got it? You able to play it?
Yeah, come on.
So I pulled that scripture, the Bashan with Dan.
Leap something with leap from Bashan.
Come on.
That's what you want. That's what you want for that. It's slowing down.
No.
You get no volume.
I'm about to turn it on right now, so it's a little.
No sweat.
For the play right now. It's playing right now.
You might want to blow it up. Just hit the little box in the corner to make the whole screen bigger.
I'm trying to do like.
You able to hear it or not?
I put it up on my phone.
I should be hearing it there. Then.
It's playing on the laptop, but it's playing real low. I turned the volume all the way up, so the volume on 100 over here.
It's like, the volume is down there. What's up? Still not? Anyway, everybody could go look up that clip, all right? If you can't find it, don't worry about it. Everybody could go look up that everybody could go look up that clip and check it out. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it out. Everybody could go look up that clip. You check it out. He yelled it out at them. He said, I am my name. Right? And he was mad about the shit because it didn't tell him the sodomite was talking about him in the street. In other words, he's saying, listen, I have a reputation. My name has some weight. You can't have this dude carrying my name no how. So it's the same spirit. Like he's saying, go tell them who sent you. Nigga, you still, who sent me? I'm the Lord who did this, X, Y, Z. You get the point? Where we at? Verse 14, give me, okay, from there, you could definitely do, verse 15. But just for time's sake, give me Exodus 6 and 2.
Exodus chapter 6, verse 2. And God spake unto Moses and said unto him.
So, like, what's the scripture from Deuteronomy?
Psalm 33:22.
33 and 22? No. That's another scripture with Dan, with the tribes, right? The one I was talking about is something with leak from Bashan. Is that one? Okay, if that's that one, give me it. What's it? 32 and no, I don't need it. Just 33 and 22. I just want to say it for the people online. All right. Give me Exodus 6 and 2.
Exodus chapter 6, verse 2. And God spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, by the name of God Almighty, by the name of Jehovah.
Mm-hmm.
Was I not known to them? I mean, to them?
It's not question.
Yes, if I not known to them.
Read one more time now.
Come. Verse 3. And I appeared unto Abraham and Isaac and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty, by the name of Jehovah. Was I not known?
But y'all have to read it right, all right? Please. Read one more time again now.
Verse 2.
Give me straight to verse 3.
Verse 3. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty, but by my name Jehovah.
But by what?
My name Jehovah.
Go ahead.
Was I not known to them?
You understand? He's telling you his name right there. He said, I'm the same God that appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But by my name, Jehovah. That's in the English. When you go to the Hebrew, it says Yahweh.
Right.
That's his name. And there's a whole slew of scriptures after that he says his name. Lord's name is Yahweh. It's not I am. It's not I am that I am. It's not anything else. All right. Give me Exodus 2:20 and 2. Also, you know Psalms 83. You all know that, right? At the end of Psalms 83, whose name alone is Yahweh. That's what we say. Because that's written there. That's his name alone. It's not whose name alone is I am that I am. All right. Give me Exodus 20 and 2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Verse 6.
It's like read verse 5 again. So.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
All right. So now, when he said, I am the Lord thy God, what does that mean? Come on.
He's saying, I'm your power. I'm the power over you, Israel.
That's it. I'm the Lord, your power. In the Hebrew now, Barak, since you pull the Hebrew. Go ahead, Barak. Show them what you got.
God, well, Exodus 20 and 5.
Read 2 and then read 5.
Come, so pull them up. Jesus, show what you got. No sweat.
Go ahead, Go ahead,
Do that.
Stunt on them. Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. Anakiah, Yahweh, Alahaya.
Wait, Anakiah what?
Anakiah. Yahweh.
What's that one?
Yahweh.
Not Ahaya, which is I am that I am.
Right.
It says it right there. I am Yahweh, your power. Yahweh Alahaya Nawa. You get the point? It's even from the creed. Your power. You'll see the same thing in verse 5. Read verse 5.
Come. Book of Exodus. chapter 20, verse 5. La'a tashatakwa laham wala'a thaba'ai dam kaya anakaya Yahweh.
Yahweh what?
Yahweh alahayaka alahayak.
Alahayaka. Meaning your power. Ka is your, right? Your power, right? Power is Alahayam or Alahaya. Like how they say Elohim, right? Alahaya is powers. Alahaya is power. Alahayam is powers, plural. That's where the Muslims get the name of their God from, Allah. Because Muhammad followed the Jews and stole from the Jews before he went to the Arabs. And of course, he don't know the name of the Lord, so he calls it what he hear us saying when we say in Alahayam or Alahaya, right? But we talking about the powers, meaning the Lord and his government. The angels are also the powers. The host of heaven is also the powers. That's not the Lord's name. The Lord's name is Yahweh, right? So you have that breakdown right there. There's a few more verses, but I think you have everything. Just from Exodus 3, 11 through 14 and 15. You have Exodus 6, 2 through 3, 20, Exodus 20, 2, and then verse 5. You have Psalms 83, 17 and 18. It's all the way down there. It's all written. The Lord is thy power. That Lord there, when you look it up, is Yahweh. And he says it in Exodus 6 that his name is Yahweh, right? Even our creed, Shema Yashala Yahweh, Alahaya Nawa Yahweh Akkad, not Ahaya or Allah or anything. It says his name there is Yahweh. You want to have that because, of course, they're going to try to battle you on his name. What's his name? What's his name? As if, that means anything. Right. I mean, in terms of the general scheme of things, it does mean something, but they're going to try to battle you on that to say you not in the truth and they are, which is, of course, retarded. Right. You get the point? Come on.
Sorry, what is Alahayam?
Alahayam is the plural for powers, like Ak and Akyam. Akyam is brothers. The Yam is the plural part of the Hebrew, right?
And with the Alahayam, sometimes there's angels.
Angels, right? Sometimes not sometimes, all the time, because the Lord is not plural. But when you say the Lord and the host of heaven is the Alahayam, like in the beginning, in Genesis, you'll see Alahayam a whole lot in the creation because he's giving orders to the angels. You get it, point? He's giving go ahead.
So like the Alahayim, that's in English that would be Elohim.
That's what the bastard version of it, right? How the Jewish man would pronounce it, Elohim, right? Or whatever. But it's Alahayim is the powers. But they in the English they say he is the Elohim, which is no.
Right.
You get the point? He's in charge of all of it. It's like Trump and his government, Obama and his government, the American government. It's a collective, but there's one head. Right. So the Alahayim is the whole collective. It's his power structure. His in the scripture they call it a Godhead. His power structure. You part of his Elohim. You part of his Alahayim. You part of his powers as well. But this is him and the angels. But he is the power. He is the power. He is the one Lord who is in charge of everything, and he's our power. Come on.
I would say example like Trump. Who did Trump kill? The Syrian president? Trump killed somebody?
He killed the general, a Syrian general.
But it wasn't. But Trump didn't pull the trigger. But they're gonna say Trump killed him.
Right, like Obama. Obama killed Bin Laden. Right, but he was nowhere there. He gave the order. You get it, going?
So like one more. So in the singular for like the bastard version of Elohim, it would be what the Bible says El Elo, I think.
I don't know what is it. Elohi. I don't know. But that would be the Alahaya, right? That would be the Alahaya, which is power, right? Or the power. Ha Alahaya. The power, which is referring to the Lord, right? But his name is neither Allah, Alahaya, or Alahayam, not Elohim, none of that. His name clearly there is called Yahweh. He said, they did not know my name. Moses, you do now. Now you do. You understand? Now you do. But Them niggas, they question you, just go tell them that nigga sent you. The man sent you. Big dog sent you. It's like that. That's the spirit behind it. You get the point? So make sure you have those. Make sure you're sharp on those. You might get tested one of these days. Don't, not be prepared, all right? Please. With that, pass the class slightly.
There was an Officer Gallo had a question online.
Okay.
Cut.
Quickly, all right?
Cut. Officer Gallo says, Salakia, sir, Genesis 32 and 30. What did Jacob mean when he said he saw God face to face?
Read it for me, all right?
That's crazy because since he said I am that I am, I was gonna bring that up too. When he even just wanted to see the Most High to show how carnal he was, like had to see him in order to follow him type thing.
But of course, the Lord knows Israel. Familiarity breeds contempt. You want to see me because you try to size me the hell up. You try to see if it's if it's worth risking it all. That's really what that spirit is. You need to see him because of course they don't respect that order that's already there. Right later on when they told Moses, God ain't dealing with you alone, Moses fell to his face and said, so be it, because he knew they was going to die the next day. He told them, come out here tomorrow with these censers. The censer is like a long thing, like a staff with the incense burner at the end, and put on these certain garments, and you'll see the Lord face to face, and the Lord killed them all the next day. Yes, and Moses understood that sometimes the people don't understand that power structure, and they want to jump over Moses. You get the point? The Lord wasn't having it. All right? Please.
Genesis 32 and 30. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved.
So when he's saying he's seeing God face to face, it's not him and the Lord speaking. He is getting his directive. He's getting told what to do. This is not the Lord himself. This is the angels or the Alahayim, the host. Just think, just think somebody who's a tourist to America and they go to the White House for the first time. And they say, man, I went to see Trump. Or I went to see Obama. Nigga, you and Obama sit down? No, but I was there. You get the point? It's like you're in where all his power and glory is. Moses had an encounter with the Alahayim, with the powers of the Lord. But of course, talking to them is talking to him. If they say something to you, he said something to you. You understand? That's the breakdown for that. Right? Anything else? You good? What's up, Nikama?
No, I'm good.
What's up? Come on.
Oh no, I was using about the White House. I just started thinking about White House tours. That's all.
God damn, man.
Not that for me, not for myself, but
I know, but just in the whole thing, I know. I guess you. I feel you. Okay, so with that pass the class over, the priest on the side.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. Salam. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. TITHES, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny or any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Salakia. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation. The next high holy day is the memorial of blowing of the trumpets. It's the first day of the 7th month, which is a Monday, September 6, 2021. You can find this in Leviticus 23 and 24 through 25. I.S.U.P.K events. The next I.S.U.P.K events will be held in Chicago this month, July 21st to the 25th. The next one will be in New York, August 19th to the 21st. The third one will be in Texas, October 7th through the 10th. The fourth one is in Las Vegas, Nevada, November 11th to the 14th. And the last one is in Florida, December 2nd to the 6th. And these are the upcoming I.S.U.P.K cookout events. If your brother wants to become a trooper in the school, remind Akim and Akwafim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black. That includes black boots, black pants, black shirts, black headband or scarf. And with that, say a mic, which means to stand. Sister, you can just stay seated. Give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amizim Shabbat, Amizim Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatham.
Yazmatah, Saw, which means to turn. Stand up, sister. Give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amizim Shabbat, Amizim Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alatham Shem Yahushua.
Yazmatah, and with that, class dismissed.